Welcome to Everyday Linux User. Today I'm going to be reviewing Manjaro OS. So, why am I reviewing Manjaro OS? Well, it's number 4 on the page hit ranking of distrowatch.org. These page hit rankings are based on the visitors to this particular site choosing a distribution to look at, and based on the number of clicks determines how popular in this list they are. This doesn't necessarily decide how popular a distribution is overall, because for instance Ubuntu users might not use this site at all, they might go straight to the Ubuntu website. Similarly for other distributions, the same thing. So I've already reviewed MX Linux, Endeavour OS and Mint. I've also got reviews for Ubuntu and Elementary as well. Today, working my way down the list, Manjaro. It's another Arch based distro, so it's good to even up the numbers because a lot of the other ones are either Debian or Ubuntu based. So that's the reason for reviewing Manjaro OS. So looking at the Manjaro website, it says Manjaro is free and open source Linux system that emphasizes user privacy and control of their hardware. It's user friendly and suitable for those new to computers and can be installed on a wide range of devices. Architecture supported include x86 and 64 and ARM, making it a great choice for any device or computer environment. So for those people that have Raspberry Pis, you can install Manjaro on a Raspberry Pi. Manjaro provides numerous customization options and applications, as well as security and privacy features. It also offers several graphical user interfaces. And then get Manjaro. So the version of Manjaro I have installed is the XFCE desktop, and as you can see, when you first boot up, you get to this welcome screen, and it's a traditional XFCE with a single panel at the bottom. So in the bottom left hand corner is the Manjaro menu icon, and clicking on that brings up the menu system. You've got your list of categories down the right, and then the applications in the left. So if you look at the favourites by default are Terminal Emulator, File Manager, a web browser and your email program. I can click on all applications and you can scroll all the way down, or you can click on any one of the categories. So by default, graphics, there's GIMP, there's an image viewer called Vunia. So GIMP is like an image manipulation program, think of Photoshop. You've got a document viewer, and then under internet we have SSH and VNC. We've got a Firefox web browser, we've got HexChat, which is IRC chat, we've got Pigeon, which is instant messenger, and Thunderbird for email. Under multimedia, the music player is Audacious. You've got VLC media player for watching videos, and then you've got a DVD burning application. Voco screen doesn't come by default. I installed that so that I could record this video. Under the Office, we have only Office desktop editors. We'll come to that shortly. It's an interesting choice. And then under settings, we've got a whole host of settings which we'll go through as part of this review. And then under system we have some more tools, including Manjaro Hello. So if you don't want the hello screen at the start, you can turn it off by clicking that. So the next time it boots, this won't show up, but if you want it again, you can go to system and then you've got Manjaro Hello. I'm going to leave it on for the time being. The welcome screen, you've got documentation, so worth clicking this. It tells you how to do certain things like search the web, where to look in the forums, how to join them on Telegram, and how to sign up to mailing lists, as well as other resources. Got release info, and this tells you what version you're on and what editions there are available. And then you've got a wiki, and this gives you all sorts of information. Installation guide, I've already created one of those. If you want to watch the video, it's linked to this one. how to boot, different desktop and Windows managers, how to manage your software, so it talks about Pacman, the graphical software managers, Arch, Flatpak, Snap, and other software applications, how to manage your software, hardware support, network, etc. So there's all sorts of stuff here. In the support you've got forums, software, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it's the list of applications. Wow. These aren't installed by default, you have to obviously install them from the package manager. Mailing lists, get involved, how to get involved with the project and development, and how to donate money. And then you've got icons to social media sites. And this welcome screen comes in all sorts of languages, so if you prefer Albanian, feel free to choose it. So if you click on applications, it lets you search for various applications under different categories. So for web browsers, you can see you've got Vivaldi, Chromium, Firefox, Medora and Opera. Email, all the different choices of email. I'm not going to go through all of them. But you can see there's quite a few there. There's you can also narrow it down just by using this top menu here. The advanced button shows more advanced application areas, so if I click that you'll see file sharing comes up, system tools, virtual machine applications, etc. And you can reset the view by clicking this button. So this is a fairly basic graphical package manager. So let's have a look at the internet connection situation. You can see I'm on a wired connection, but there are wireless connections available to me. The desktop itself, this is rather nice wallpaper, but you can right click and you can look at desktop settings and you can change the wallpaper. There you can see a whole host of them appearing. You can choose a folder for the backgrounds. There's another backgrounds folder here, and these are just the Manjaro ones. And you can, obviously, if you've got your own folder full of pictures, you can choose that by going to the file system or other and navigating to the folder of your choice. So let's say I had pictures in my pictures folder, I could create a wallpapers folder in here and put some photos in there and use that as my background. I'm not going to do too much on XFCE. I'm going to have a separate video describing all the features of XFCE. Under the menu, let's look at the tools that we do have. So Mail Reader is going to be Thunderbird, I'd have thought. It is indeed. So this is easy to set up. There's a donation page pops up immediately if you want to save Thunderbird. So I can type in my email address there, and then I can put my password in if I can remember it. And it's going to take me to Google, and Google's going to say, are you happy to link to this? And I can click allow, and then my emails will start coming through, and it'll link to my calendars and stuff. So when I click finish, you can see loads of stuff's popping through. So file manager, I'm not sure how you pronounce this. Is it Tuna or Thuna? But it's fairly basic. One thing to note, XFCE is incredibly quick, so it's a great way of using your operating system to its fullest, because you can use the applications and the actual operating system stays out of the way. But that doesn't mean I can't. I lose many features because of it. I can easily navigate my way around my file system. As you can see, I've got full access. I could browse the network. I don't think I've got anything else connected at this moment in time that's worth looking at. I'm not going to do GIMP. My creativity skills are severely lacking. GIMP is like Photoshop. It's one of those things you've got to get used to. Let's have a look at setting up a Bluetooth device. The reason I'm doing this, I need a speaker to prove that my audio player is working properly, and I haven't got any speakers attached at this moment in time. So what I'm going to do is set up a Bluetooth speaker. So if I click on that, I can search, and it's found my TV, hasn't actually found the Bluetooth speaker. So we're going to search again, because I've put the speaker into Bluetooth mode. And I think the cylinder BT is probably it. Let's have a look at Audacious. So this is Audacious. To find music, you just open the folder, or you can add the files or add a folder. So I'm going to add a folder in, and we're going to choose music. And there you can see a list of songs that I have on this computer. Some Black Sabbath, Billy Idol and Alice Cooper. I haven't put my whole album across. Let's see if we can get that to play. So it's not picked up the Bluetooth, so we'll continue working on that. So let's try a song. Let's try Dragon Town. And I'm not hearing anything at all. This is a bit I find I've actually connected to somebody else's headphones by mistake, and I'm playing Dragon Town through their headphones at them. Well, here you are. As you can tell, the audio came through in the end. That proves that Bluetooth works. I just needed to put the speaker a bit closer to my computer. It was slightly out of range. Yeah, so that's how you connect Bluetooth, and that's how you use Audacious. You can create playlists. So there's a playlist manager down here. Let's have a look at this. So let's do new and see what plugins are available. Album art, lyrics, song info. So as you can see, it found the song, the album it was on, the genre, the track number on the album. Failed to fetch lyrics, and I didn't get any album art for that. Let's see if we can scroll down. So, finding the song info is good, the album art not so much. So that's Audacious. There are other music packages available. So let's look at the video player. So the video player here is VLC. You should be aware of this by now. It's one of the most popular media players there is. So I'm just going to open a file on my computer. Let's just pick one of the videos I'm making at this moment in time. And you can see it works perfectly well. The choice of Office Suite is kind of interesting on Manjaro. It's only Office. I have never seen this one before. Let's have a look at the tools. Quite slow to load. So as you can see, create documents easily enough. Different heading styles, different font formats. So you can see I've actually got Microsoft fonts already installed. So it starts with Arial. It's got some Linux ones as well, but you've got Arial, Comic Sans, Times New Roman, etc. Tables, yeah, you can insert tables. And you can remove that table, I think. Because we don't want it there, we'll put it at the bottom. And there's different layout things, reference guides, etc. So it looks alright. Never used this before, but it does look like a decent Office suite, and it breaks the norm because everyone else goes for LibreOffice. It was a little bit slow starting, but let's see what format you can save it to. OpenOffice, Word, yeah, rich text, all the common ones. Let's save it to PDF, see what happens. There you go, it's not bad, not bad at all. So let's close that, let's have a look at the spreadsheet package. Again, a little bit slow loading. But once it is loaded, it's actually reasonably responsive. I said that I hit a few keys and it took a little while to respond, but I think once it is there, you can have I think you can do pivot tables. So you get data from various sources, you can do data validation, removing duplicates. Pivot table, so insert a pivot table, pick my cells, so you can see the total salary there, and then salary by department. You can change that to average salary probably. And you can see the average salary spent per department. Now this is a spreadsheet package. Yeah, it probably hasn't got any development tools, but you can do basic spreadsheets in this. It looks reasonably good. Reasonably good. Certainly useful enough for home use, I'd have thought, if you're just doing budgeting or creating that World Cup planner spreadsheet. Presentation tool. Again, a bit slow loading. Right, so what can we do here? So you can change your template. Add a slide. You can change the style of each one. Create transitions. So you can add transitions between slides, animations. So yeah, it's a good tool, OpenOffice. And then you've got this form template one. We're not going to go into that. I think we've exhausted OnlyOffice. Okay, so let's talk about installing software. So press the start menu and you go software, and you can see add remove software is available. and you've got this nice software package manager here. This tells you a lot of the favourite programs that you might want to install. So by default the web browser is Firefox, and it sees when you go in there it says remove and you can reinstall or you can launch it. GIMP's installed, and you can see by the icon whether it's installed or not. If it's got the bin background, it means it's installed, because that means you can uninstall it from here as well. So here's some of the popular applications you might want to install. So you've got Inkscape and Blender, LibreOffice if you didn't like the OpenOffice, the OnlyOffice. You've got virtual machines, RetroArch for emulation, Shotwell for image viewers. Now I didn't see an image. Is there an image viewer? I think there is, isn't there? Fairly basic by the looks of it. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's a slideshow element to it. So Shotwell's a better program. You've got Telegram here. So different categories. So this one's the featured categories. Different categories here. So you've got photo editing. It's a nice looking application. Now it'd be interesting to see. So Audacious is installed by default, but if you want Rhythmbox, I'm sure it's there. Sound Recorder. Yeah, there's Rhythmbox. Now if I click on that, does it say how it's going to install it, whether it's a Flatpak or not? Yeah, it doesn't actually say. It's coming from the extras repository. I don't think it is a Flatpak. Productivity suites. Communication news, there's games, utilities, development. So you've got the open source version of Visual Studio Code that you can install. Should we try installing one? Prove it works. It asked me if I wanted to choose extra authentication there, but I chose not to. I just skipped it. It's telling me total download size, and it's also giving me a couple to upgrade, so I'm going to click apply and it's just going to do that. You can see that's working down the bottom. It's quite quick. I suppose it's relative to how fast everyone's internet speed is. It's quite quick, being that fibre optic broadband is kind of new to this area because I live in the middle of nowhere. So 60 megabits for me is fast. I know people that got a lot faster than that. So, but there are also people down at still at the 15 megabit per second. So I can launch it from here. Let's see if it's gone onto the menu. I've typed VS Code, but it's OS there. So if I click that, and there you are. We have an open source version of Visual Studio Code, and that works quite well by the looks of it. Let's go back. You can actually search for the application you want, so let's see how well this does. Let's go to Steam. Two versions here, so we've got Steam and Steam Native. Let's see what the difference is. So 24th of November, 26th of August. So So let's go for the later one. Now what I like thus far about Manjaro is I've been using it for a few hours and I haven't had to go into the terminal once. So if you're a desktop computer user and you are worried about having to type things into the terminal, then Manjaro is a lot like Mint in that respect, in the sense that you can pretty much get away with using it without having to use the terminal at all. So I'm going to launch it from this menu here, and it's running the update, traditional update. So we'll let that go in the background. Let's look for things that are proprietary. Let's see if we can find Chrome. Not this time. Let's find Spotify. Spotify's there. So we've got a lightweight Spotify streaming daemon, or we've got the Spotify launcher. Let's go for the launcher. Now, interestingly, that hasn't given me a menu, a launch icon. Does that mean it's worked or not? It has worked. Spotify launcher seems to not do very much. We'll leave that, see if it pops up in a minute. Leave Steam doing what it's doing. Let's see if we can find Flatpak. It says Flatpak's already installed, so in theory you should be able to install Flatpak packages. As you can see, Steam has now appeared, so I could log in and that's going to work. Let's go back to the software manager. And try and get Flatpaks enabled. So click on here, preferences. Enable Flatpak support. So that should enable me to install things from Flatpak. You can also enable Snap support. I'm not going to do that because I'm not a sadist. I'm going to close that, and I don't know if you have to restart or not, but let's see. Does that mean Chrome is now available? Well, we've got Google Chrome from AUR, so you can click build on that. What I'm going to do is reboot, see if that helps. So I rebooted my computer, and for some reason the audio on this part of the video didn't work, so I'm doing a voiceover. Rebooted, and you can see that now Spotify is loading quite well, and I'm able to play the music. You won't be able to hear the music because, as I say, the audio was turned off. And then we will go back into the application manager, and now if we try and search for Chrome, you'll see that Chrome now appears in the software manager as a Flatpak, and I can install that Flatpak package. I simply needed to click install and then click apply, and you can see it's downloading, and that will take a little while to do that. And once this is done, I should be able to launch Google Chrome. And sure enough, when I launched the menu, you could see Chrome was visible in the menu, and then it's allowing me to set it as the default browser, and I can click OK, and hey presto, Chrome loaded. So yeah, to install Flatpaks, you have to first turn it on and then reboot your computer, and you should be able to install any Flatpak. The same can be said for Snap packages as well. AUR packages, as soon as you turn it on, they're available. You might have to refresh the repositories from within the application loader. So the next thing to look at was hardware support. So we've already looked at the Bluetooth settings for a speaker, and now I wanted to look at the ability to print. Endeavour OS had its own HP print utility for my printer, but Manjaro, I'm having to use cups. Clicking on administration means I can do find new printers. It's printers found. I click on manage printers, or I click add printer. When I entered add printer, I had to enter my username and password. And then a list of network printers were available, so you can see my printers there available. Check the box and click continue. Click continue once more. It gives a little bit of a spiel, so you can choose the actual make and model, but I'm just letting it choose the default options, and then I can just click the add printer button at the bottom. At this point, I opened OnlyOffice and opened the document I created earlier, and I tried printing to the printer, and it actually caused the application to crash, allowing for the fact that it may have been OnlyOffice, and I was opening PDF rather than a native Office document. I decided to open the PDF in a dedicated tool. Such as the document viewer, and then I printed from the document viewer, and everything printed out perfectly fine. So to summarize Manjaro, it's easy to install, it's easy to use. You don't have to use the terminal at all to use Manjaro. Installing applications is easy. Just remember to turn on Flatpak and reboot your computer if you do turn on Flatpak. And you can turn on the AUR if you want to find applications that you can't find elsewhere. There's also Snap packages available. Hardware support, setting up Bluetooth devices relatively easily. Once I put the Bluetooth device in range, setting up printers was easy. I would say there are a couple of programs I'd switch out. So I'd add Shotwell in as a photo manager, and I would probably replace Audacious with Rhythmbox. But it's your own personal preference. I've got a video with the 9 applications I would use, but it's personal choice. So Manjaro, yes, very easy to use, very easy to install, and it's a really, really good operating system. It's probably next to Mint for me as the one that I would choose as my main operating system, although MX Linux was fantastic as well. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more content from Everyday Linux User. Thank you for watching.